Hey guys, it's Stephen here, back with another episode of 5 Things Learned following Manchester City's rather pragmatic 1-0 draw at Liverpool, against Liverpool, at the Etihad Stadium yesterday. And today I'm going to run through 5 things that I personally took from this game. I didn't also realise, by the way, how much a lot of you enjoy this 5 Things Learned series in general. Thank you. I get so many requests for it after a game asking when it's coming. So here's another episode, and hopefully it lives up to the quality of previous episodes. And today we got loads of things to talk about. Obviously, these are just 5 things that I personally took from it. There will be things that I've missed, of course, but let me know down in the comments what you make of the points as I'm talking about them, I guess, as you're watching the video, and what you personally took from the game. And don't forget, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Let's jump into the first point though, and I want to talk about that defence. We've got proper defence, lads. We've actually got it. We've got a defence that is worthy of Manchester City Football Club. Genuinely, it's weird saying it after years of watching, well, at least 18 months of watching ineptitude. All of a sudden, Manchester City look like kind of the real deal defensively, and it feels absolutely wonderful to just taste and savour. And it's genuinely good. Honestly, I know there was a mistake for the goal. Unfortunately, Kyle Walker made a mistake he's made a few times this season. I'll let him off because he's been brilliant. But he is fallible to kind of like the odd penalty. But other than that, largely I thought the defence was absolutely excellent. Of course, Liverpool did make a chance or two, and especially in the first 20 minutes, they got behind us a couple of times. But they are Liverpool, you know. They're one of the best teams in world football, if not currently the best team in world football, if we're being totally honest. So of course they were going to, I mean, that's probably buying. But anyway, I digress. Of course they were going to create a chance here and there. The point is, can you react to that, and can you make them give them a hard time after those mistakes? And City did that, and largely Liverpool couldn't really get past us after about half an hour in the game, and that is down to the quality of the defenders. I mean, I always feel like in general, good defenders, if they make a mistake, which happens, you know, what they do is make sure they don't make a mistake twice, and that's the big thing. Like, you may get past them once, but then you don't do it another time, and that's what I got from City's defence yesterday. Particularly, of course, I got to talk about Ruben Diaz and Laporte. That is a genuinely, potentially very, very high level centre back pairing. Potentially world class. I've talked about Lapiaz or Deporte or whatever. I've tried to mix them before. But largely, it's a very, very exciting partnership that kind of really complement each other really well. Now, fortunately, I'm very lucky to be at the game yesterday. I was actually there during the We're Not Really Here recording on Manchester City's YouTube channel, and I actually got to watch the game, sat with Sean Goat and Richard Dunn, and I got to watch it in the stands. I was was not expecting that at all, and I was so honoured. But the one thing that struck me is where basically, when the stadium was that quiet, you can hear every single order being barked. And Ruben Diaz was so loud, constantly directing defenders where he needed to be. And he spoke with such an authority as well, not just like a, go over there. It's a proper like, there was an aggression and a power in his voice that was really commandeering, and I loved that. And likewise, I thought Cancelo as well was very good in defence. I'll get onto it in a little bit as well. But like in general, that back four, I mean, they probably played their way into the first choice defensive pairing there in general, because they were all really, really solid. And it's good to see City now look so strong defensively. The next point, unfortunately, I want to talk about Sterling a little bit. Not so Sterling, unfortunately. Sterling can be very frustrating. It can be very, very frustrating at times. And I think this is the kind of game where I think we have to address just how annoying he can be at times. Sterling, to me, his form is so erratic. He reminds me of a sound wave like that. You know, sound waves kind of oscillate like that. And that's what he's constantly like during the game. 1 minute brilliant, next minute just terrible. I mean, I'm sure he can refine the form again, but Sterling yesterday, a couple of decisions, it was just driving me mad, where he should have passed the ball to Gabriel Jesus, or he just ran down blind alleyways, or he didn't keep the ball, or his touch let him down. But that's Sterling in a nutshell. 1 minute brilliant, next minute just frustrating. I mean, I think it's fair to say at the moment he's not really playing that well. He's in a collection of plays that seem to be undroppable, particularly Rodri. He seems to be undroppable at the moment alongside Sterling, despite how good or bad they play, really. And that's kind of frustrating, especially given the fact that Phil Foden seemed to be dropped after a poor performance midweek. I mean, deservedly so, actually. Foden wasn't good against Olympiacos, so he deserved to be dropped. But it is frustrating when it feels like there's one rule for one and a different one for another. I mean, if Sterling was dropped after a bad game, I'd see that as fair too. But if Phil Foden was dropped after a bad game and others aren't, it kind of is a little bit frustrating. But Sterling, I think we do need to find some form, and he will get back there. I'm not giving up on Sterling at all. He's obviously a world-class player on his day, but at the moment, he's just frustrating. Very frustrating, and I wanted to address that. I'm sure he will play his way back into form, but we are allowed to say at the moment, he can let us down. He can let us down big time. Thirdly, we need to talk about the attack. I mean, how cautious Pep is at the moment. I mean, Guardiola's got very, very, very cautious, and that's the big thing I took away from this game. I mean, you could tell after about 55, 60 minutes that we were probably going to play for a point and be happy there, and that we didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. And I kind of understand that. I mean, we were so bad defensively at times last season and all that kind of stuff that I understand why Guardiola is a little bit apprehensive to kind of throw everything forward. But I think we still need to find a balance. I mean, Pep's been pragmatic, and to be honest, there is an element of probably that being necessary. Maybe we really need to drill those defensive lines and get that structure and that rigidity back in the defence. So I understand the general thought process of that, but it is a little bit frustrating watching City have a team like Liverpool there for the taking and kind of not really going for it. I mean, the blood was literally there. I could smell the blood, but we still didn't go fully on the attack. I understand it to an extent because Liverpool are so good on the counter-attack that if we had gone for a little bit and they broke away and scored, all of a sudden that 8 points, and even with a game in hand, it's just a big gap between Manchester City and Liverpool that we don't want at this stage with all the games piling up. So there's an element of Pep being pragmatic, and I think that's probably because he's been burned so many times. I understand it, but we do need to get that balance between the defensive stability and the forward line back. I've got no doubt we'll get there because we've already improved the defence, which is a good sign. So why can't we do the same with the forward line again? Just have a little faith. Fourthly, I want to talk about Cancelo. More like Joao Cancelo. Sorry, not sorry. He was excellent, absolutely excellent. There was one particular moment in the defence where, once again, I'm just bragging about this, I'm going to mention it, Dunn and Goa we sat with him, we were all like, what, did you see that? When he kind of won the ball in the area, I think it was from Salah, and then kind of pirouetted and then got up and played the pass as well. I mean, Richard Dunn actually went, I would have just hoofed that. Like, it was brilliant, and probably made me laugh. It was fantastic defending, and more than that as well, he's creating so many chances at the moment. I think I saw a Sam Lee tweet earlier on today where City's highest chance created this season is obviously Kevin De Bruyne. After that, in just 4 starts, it's Joao Cancelo. He's got created 11 chances in only 4 starts, which is absolutely fantastic. The one in particular, yesterday, probably should have been another goal with Gabriel Jesus heading just wide. But more than that as well, he was defensively solid, offered so much going forward, intelligent. He's definitely our first choice left back at the moment, and fair play, hopefully it can last long, because I'm not always confident about the idea of playing a player out of position, but at the moment he just looks really smart, really intelligent. He looks like a different player to the one that was playing last season. Last season at times he felt like he was just kind of there, not really offering anything unique or anything different, and now at the moment he looks bright, he looks lively, and he looks like someone who believes he's involved in this squad, and most importantly, should be involved in this starting 11. At the moment he's doing absolutely fantastic and showing that it could be that this money that we spent could be really well spent in the end if he starts to get a run of games, and if he carries on this form. Fair play to Joao Cancelo, absolutely fantastic. And finally, there was loads of points I wanted to talk about here, maybe about the attack and all this kind of stuff, but I actually want to talk about our opposition. Now, I want to talk about Liverpool because I think they actually showed signs yesterday of being fallible. Of course they've got injuries, which is, I'm never going to kind of celebrate an injury. They've got Van Dijk, obviously, is out. They've also got, maybe Alexander-Arnold potentially injured now as well. And that's not good for them. Obviously, Fabinho and Thiago, which they'll obviously will improve when those players come back eventually. But I thought Liverpool yesterday showed signs of being fallible in general. I mean, I think they were there for the taking in the end. They looked tired at times. They looked leggy. And as good as they are, I don't see any reason why Manchester City can't go up another level or two and actually catch them. I really do believe that this season Liverpool and everyone else will start to feel the effects of this incredibly tiring and incredibly physical calendar that we've got at the moment, with players getting zero rest and injuries picking up. And I don't see any reason why Manchester City can't look at the Liverpool and go, we could have beat them and probably should have beat them, and maybe we can beat them at Anfield. You've got to bear in mind when we go to Anfield, when is it? I don't even know when we play Liverpool next. I'm going to check. It's absolutely escaped my mind. The Anfield game it's over in February. God, who knows what the world would be like in February by that point. In February, I would not be surprised if City, who knows what we're going to be like. We could sign someone in January. They could sign someone in January. But either way, with no fans in the ground, Liverpool aren't quite the same. They're an emotional team. As good as they are, though, yesterday we kind of had them locked down. That forward line of Jota, Firmino, Salah, Mane, absolutely fantastic, of course. But there were times when they kind of genuinely ran out of ideas, and City looked really, really solid, looked really full of and looked assured at the back, and that's impressive, you know. So I don't see any reason why we can't potentially catch them, because I'm sure Liverpool will drop points at some point, and I'm sure we can be better than them this season. It might not happen, of course, but I do believe we've got another gear or two to go through with our forward line. I'm already seeing green shoots of positivity with our defensive line, so why not? Why not be positive? It wasn't a great game yesterday, but I thought there was loads of positives yesterday. Some concerns, of course, but plenty of reasons to feel optimistic. Anyway, guys, that is just 5 things that I personally learned from the game. Do let me know down in the comments of what you took from it and all that kind of stuff. Let me know who your man of the match was and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, and what kind of content you want to see over the international break on this channel. And yes, there will be some Twitch stuff coming pretty soon as well, hopefully. For now, though, like, comment, subscribe. Love you all loads. What's it?